Property tax relief, you've said that that's number one. What happened there?
Well, the legislature, for the second year in a row, again failed to pass property tax relief. I want to thank the majority of senators that voted to keep moving LB 947 on. LB 947 had broad support. Things like the Nebraska Farm Bureau and the Soybean Association, dairymen, as well as the Nebraska State Chamber, the Omaha Chamber, the Lincoln Chamber, all on board with this tax bill. And it was really a small minority of senators who insisted on raising taxes that caused this bill to fail. So we cannot tax one Nebraskan to give another Nebraskan tax relief. That's not tax relief.
Do you think the state needs to put more state dollars, state resources into schools? How do you think something we need to have a better balance with our funding? What do you think?
Well, there is not going to be a single silver bullet that addresses what we have to do on property taxes. This is something I've made a priority since I've been elected governor. In my first year, we increased the property tax credit relief fund by over 45%. And in our budgets, we'll deliver $840 million, over $840 million in direct property tax relief. Last year, we had a bill that would have changed how we value ag land, which would have assisted with this. That bill failed to move on because of a filibuster in the legislature. And this year, we had our tax credit, which would have been devoting more state resources to that property tax relief, working up to a 20% refundable tax credit based upon the property taxes you pay. That was a significant commitment. In fact, it would have more than doubled the amount of money the state was putting into property tax relief over the course of the next 10 years. It would have taken it up to over $4.5 billion over 10 years.
There's now talk of this special session. Clearly, you've said that that's a non-starter if they're going to talk about raising revenue to achieve that.
There's a small group of senators who are fixated on raising taxes, and as long as they are continuing to insist upon raising taxes, there is no point to having a special session. It will just be a waste of taxpayer money.
Tax relief is not off your agenda. I'm sure you're already thinking about where you proceed from here.
Absolutely. We're going to continue to work on it. We're, within the framework of we're not going to raise taxes. Can't tax one Nebraskan to give another Nebraskan tax relief. That's not tax relief. We got to control spending, and we got to look for solutions on how we can provide that. And there's not going to be one single thing that we do. It's going to have to be a variety of things. But that's something we're going to continue to pursue with senators and other groups on what ideas we can come back with to be able to achieve that property tax relief for Nebraskans.
Governor, appreciate the time.
Great. Thank you, Steve.
A possible breakthrough by wheat researchers in the UK could improve yields by 50%.
Dr. Scott Bowden of Crop Genetics Department at the John Innes Center in England has isolated a gene in wheat that could unlock these gains in yield. And Bowden has good intentions with this research. One of his concerns, feeding the hungry.
It is something that I worry about is whether we will have enough food to feed the world in 30 or 40 years' time. And I know there are a lot of clever people out there who might be discouraged from working on wheat because it's quite a complicated crop.
Although the test trials will be in Europe and Asia before it hits the States, Dr. Bowden hopes the research will see an impact on farms in the next 5 to 10 years. Next, we'll check the drought monitor in our weather report. And later, how a chance visit could benefit farmers in both Kenya and Nebraska.